my friends, good morning. My name is Emily. Welcome back to my channel. I thought that I would start the intro to this reading vlog because this weekend I'm going to the coast and I thought that it would be fun to bring you along. I'm gonna do a get ready with me because I did just wake up and you can clearly tell. But I did have my coffee, iced coffee at home. Ayo. Talk about my current read, because I'm rather enjoying it and I'm sad that I just haven't had time to like finish it and get through it because I can't help picking it up. I'm currently reading The Bookish Life of Nina Hill. I would say this is a mix between like a very lighthearted slice of life contemporary and a romance. I tried reading a romance before this one, and maybe it's just because I haven't read that genre in a while, but it felt so, I don't know what the word is, but I realized like romance, like the plot is the relationship, and there is plot, but like that is the main point of the story, and I just haven't read romance in so long that I was like, this feels so off. And then I like the characters, but I don't know, I'm trying to be a little bit more specific with what I like and the reading things that I want to read, so I kind of DNF'd it and just picked up this next one. I was kind of nervous just because I don't know what vibes it was giving me. Like, I was like, is this gonna be a little cringy? But it's actually super duper duper cute. It's about this young lady who lives in the city and like loves trivia and she loves to read and she just has such a quirky outlook on life. And I hate using the word quirky because like quirky, but it's more so like she's just very unique and she's doing her own thing. She likes to be alone and she spends her time reading because that's like the best thing that she can think of to do with her time. And she doesn't have a boyfriend because who needs men, right? Well, then also there's this plot line of she didn't have a dad growing up and her mom didn't ever tell her who her dad was because it was like a one-night stand situation. Well, now her apparent dad has died and she was in his will. I know, right? Juicy. And so she's like, I hate confrontation. Can I just not be in his will? Like, can I just ignore this? And the little lawyer guy is like, no, you cannot. You have to come and interact with the family. Turns out that this man has married like 3 or 4 different women throughout his whole lifespan, has had kids with every single one of them. She learns this and she meets the family. She meets her stepbrother, who's actually like one of the nicer ones. She meets her nephew, who's like older than her, and he's also very nice. And so she's getting used to this adjustment of having a family because she grew up as an only child. Her mother was never around. She was just always traveling. So it's like this really weird new thing. She also works at a bookstore, which I think is like just so cute. I love when characters work in bookstores or like go to bookstores and stuff. I think that's a really cute little part of the story. She also loves trivia, so she's always like learning these new things and going to trivia nights, which, speaking of, that's where we meet our love interest. I was gonna call him Harry, but his name is not Harry, his name is Tom. Which, I don't know, I was kind of put off by that name because a Tom, like, I don't know, a Tom is just not a very, like, is it Tom? Why am I overthinking this? I haven't read this book in a couple of days, so I think Tom. It's not a very big, like, fictional boyfriend name. I don't know. He's from the rival trivia group, and their rival trivia group name is You're a Quizzard. Like, you're a wizard, Harry, but you're a quizzard. Saying that out loud sounds really funny. She knows him through that, and he has a crush on her, and their friends know that they could like really be good together, so they keep putting them in these funny situations where they have to hang out with each other. Then they end up like talking, and she realizes that she likes him, and so they start like dating really, really fast, because now they're together. Like, it seemed like they were talking for a little bit, realized like they like each other, let's start dating because we like each other, let's hang out all the time because we like each other. And it was just, wow, now they're together. So low-key, this kind of reminds me, like the family of hers reminds me of Knives Out without like the extreme craziness and without the mystery, because this isn't a mystery at all. This is very cutesy, but her family is kind of weird and mean and crazy, and they don't want to believe that she's the illegitimate child of their father, this man, even though she's literally in the will. I think that it's very cute. I think that her and Tom are very cute. They're a little bit different in personality, but that can be good in relationships. She's staying true to her little bookish self. She talks about reading all the time, and I don't know, it just like, it hits the mark when the book character that you're reading about also likes to read, and every chapter starts out with these little to-do lists, which I think is cool too, because it kind of gives you an overview of what this chapter is going to talk about. This one. And how she's currently like obsessing over Tom, and then goals, don't freak out. She's just very relatable. I'm not sure what the big third act conflict is gonna be. I kind of hope that there isn't one. I kind of hope that it's more so related to the family and not to the relationship, because I hate third act conflicts. I'm sorry. I think it's because I just woke up that I can't speak. Like I haven't spoken, so I'm not used to this action. I have less than 100 pages left of this book, so I low-key want to finish it today. And then I also have 2 more library books, and then I don't want to take library book to the coast. I was gonna say where I was gonna be, to the coast. I also have a case of the allergies, and I have for the past week, and it's so frustrating. Although I've gotten kind of better now. Like I'm not as bad as I was last week, so I mean, that's good. This is more so an intro for later on this week, but I'm going to update you when I finish it, because that will be pretty soon. And then I really want the content to be at the beach. The beach, let's go get away. I'm going to update you when I finish this little sweet little book, and I'll let you know what I rated it. Welcome to this reading vlog, y'all. Hello, my friends. It's the next day, and I did end up finishing The Bookish Life of Nina Hill yesterday. I gave it 5 stars just because I just so much enjoyed this book. I feel like it was so specifically written for people who like to read and people who get lost in fictional worlds and characters and choose that as like their main pastime, because she was so obsessed with books. It was like this weird sense of unity between us. I also really liked the romance. The third act conflict was not as horrible as I thought it was gonna be, although there is a spoiler that I'm gonna talk about, so spoiler warning, skip ahead if you don't want to know what I'm gonna say. It's not a big spoiler, but just in case like you don't want to know anything about this book, skip ahead. I found it kind of weird that their main conflict was the fact that she needed to have her own time because of her anxiety, and that kind of really turned me off to the guy, especially at the end when they ended up getting back together and he was saying like, I'll have you the way that you are, or I'll love you with or without your anxiety. And I think he said something along the lines of like, if it gets better or if it doesn't. But I feel like, maybe personally, anxiety is just such a journey. It's more so up and downs, and I don't view it as something that just goes away with like a couple of weeks, because that's, I don't know, that's the way that he was referring it to. And then she even reached out to him afterwards and was trying to reach out to him, and he was just full on ignoring her because he thought that she did not want to see him again, even though she was giving him signs that she was okay now and she was like ready to talk to him, and he was just blatantly not reaching out to her anymore. I found it just kind of off, because personally, if I found a guy like that, I would be like, clearly you don't understand my needs, you don't understand what I was trying to communicate with you. It was a bit of a red flag. But other than that, I found them very cute. I found them to fit very well. And then when he revealed what his job was, I was like, this is so cheesy, but so cute, because it just works out so well. I also love her family. I think that was actually a really cool aspect of the story that I wasn't expecting. So I gave it 5 stars because it was just such a delight to read. And I do have 2 other library books to read to get to, but I think I'm going to update you when I've chosen the books that I'm going to read at the coast. Probably gonna be 2, at least 2. See you then. Hey guys, so it's me again, and I ended up choosing all 3 of the books that I was gonna read without updating you, and we're already here and it's already been a day, and I read some of the ones that I decided to read, but now I'm gonna tell you I ended up reading 3 because we're gonna be here for a week, and I feel like I've been reading a lot faster than usual, and last time we came I read 2 books, so I just wanted to be safe and have more than I need and not less than I needed. Let's see what I brought. Currently, I'm reading Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I'm actually really liking it. I didn't read the synopsis. I do know that it had to do with publishing, and that's pretty much it. I really like Nora as a main character. I think that she's just really funny and has a fresh personality to romance. Charlie too, because he's not the typical like golden retriever boyfriend. He's more so like sarcastic and blunt, I guess, darker. So far so good. I'm 135 pages in. I started it yesterday. I'm hoping to reach the halfway point by today or even further. It's going good. I also decided to bring All of Us Villains. While I do love a fun and quirky beach read while I'm at the beach, I do like something darker too, because I feel like it mixes it up and I get tired of the same genre, and I've been wanting to read this one so bad for so long, so I brought it. I am excited to read it. And then lastly, I brought Daisy Jones and the Six, because I listened to most of this book on audiobook form and I really enjoyed it because it's all interview based, so it just fits really well. But I wanted to own it for one, to annotate it, and also I just wanted to finish it for once, and I know if I request it, it's gonna take forever to get it now. So if I finish these two before we leave, I will be picking up this one. For now, I'll update you on Book Lovers, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. So it's a couple hours later. It's like 1:30. I finished Book Lovers. See, I feel like if you just give me some time and like a comfy chair, I can finish books lickety-split, which I never believed that I could do, but I did it today. I'm giving it 4 stars, 4.5 really. It would be 5 stars, but it's not an all-time favorite. This is the thing, is that I feel like I read so many good books, so many generically good books, but they're not all-time favorites, and what I'm comparing them to are like The Cruel Prince, Mariana Zapata. I've read this one because it's like 2 romances, and Mariana Zapata books are usually favorites, and this was just really good. So that's why lately I've been giving out a lot more 3 stars to differentiate from good books and great books, as in 3 stars to 4 stars, right? That's beside the point though, because I really did enjoy this book. I just really loved the setting. I don't know. It was giving Gilmore Girls. It was giving Along for the Ride by Sarah Dessen. The whole rival chemistry between them, and then them like really liking each other but trying not to, and knowing that this wasn't good for their long-term relationship. I also really loved her sister Libby and their whole dynamic as the book ends and just how it concludes. It was all just really nice to read. I don't know. I do like this one more than People We Meet on Vacation. I'm not sure why. I think that it was just a little bit juicier, and the whole concept of like this being the other side of those romance movies where the city girl doesn't end up with the city guy. I don't know. Her and Charlie are just like this. They're like this. And I actually really like them together. Sometimes romance book couples give me the ick. Sometimes. I'm gonna be honest. They did not. I'm gonna go read All of Us Villains at some point. Maybe not today. I feel like I spent all day today reading. It was fun though. Okay, hey, so minuscule reading update, because I didn't do one for Book Lovers. I am a little past halfway for All of Us Villains. Also, I'm a little bit sunburned, so I'm a little warm. That's beside the point. I'm really enjoying this. Actually, I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of wary just because of the high expectations that I had for this book, and I went into it going, it's not going to be like the Hunger Games. Like, you need to get that out of your head, Emily. Like, nothing can beat the Hunger Games. Because this is compared to the Hunger Games, but like with magic. And quite honestly, it is that. You don't have like the social element that the Hunger Games did, but I'm really trying not to compare them anymore, because this is its own story and it has its own goods and bads. Basically, I'm gonna be honest, I don't completely understand the world, because I think that it's just like our world, but there's like a little town with a lot of magic, but there isn't just a lot of world building in general, because I think that it is our world, but it's hard for me to compute that. This is looking to maybe be a 5-star, potentially, because I know that I'm like, as I'm reading it, I'm getting more and more invested, and just the way that the narrative works and the voice that the characters have and the whole ambiance, I'm loving. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a favorite, but I really want it to be. But yeah, that's my update so far. I'll see you when I finish it. Okay, hey guys, so I just finished reading All of Us Villains, and I actually am giving it 5 stars just because of how much I thoroughly ended up enjoying the story and the ending, because the ending was really important to me. I needed certain things to happen at the end, and I needed it to have a certain feeling at the end, and it achieved the feeling that I was thinking of. I forgot how much I enjoy and love reading multiple point of view stories just because of how attached it gets you to every character and the different sides to each character, how one character thinks of the other. And the romance in here was actually like chef's kiss. So angsty, and I wasn't going into this expecting there to be a romance. Nonetheless, like an angsty villain type thing. This reminds me a little bit of like Vicious in the morality, in that like these characters are not good people, but it just makes them that much more interesting to read about because you're just so intrigued by them and their nature. The writing was also really, really good. As I mentioned like the last clip, I don't know, just the narrative of it all was really well fleshed out and well plotted. Like it wasn't choppy writing. It didn't feel half-baked. It felt like a really true story, and I just really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, that was a great pick, honestly. And because of the way that it ended, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna read the second one, because some books end and it's like the aftermath of the fight and the battle, and those just don't really intrigue me as much as those that like give you a little cliffhanger and give you a little twist, a little reveal that you weren't expecting. And then the second book evolves and delves into that twist. And this is what that is doing. So I'll be reading it. Not sure when, although I will say good choice, Emily. Me, Emily, for buying this. When I had high and well-placed hopes in it, it came through on those. I'm gonna end this video here because I did read 3 books, and as you know, I do have Daisy Jones and the Six still left to read, and I will be reading it. And if you want to see what I think of it, check out my Instagram or my Goodreads. Any of my socials, I will have a review of it somewhere. These were the 2 books that I brought on my trip, and I also read The Bookish Life of Nina Hill. All good reads, no disappointments here. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me and for watching this video. Give it a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!